Hey, James.
Hi.
What do you know about My Design?
I know that they are pretty good.
Well, not only are they pretty good,
Yeah.
they also designed our logo.
Right.
They also designed our faces
Right.
on our logo.
Yeah.
Your face, which is obviously beautiful.
Beautiful.
Nate's face, which is obviously on holiday at the moment.
Yeah.
And my face, which is obviously, whatever.
I think it's perfect.
Excellent. Anyone, any way, I'll get well.
Oh no!
This is all
Right,
going
so
wrong.
this is all going horribly
It's
wrong.
all going horribly
You haven't
wrong.
even done the proper welcome, welcome
know.
to Nerdschatting.
No, I'll do
I'm
that
Nate.
bit after I've done this bit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
All right, okay,
I have
cool.
to cut this bit out. aren't
No,
I?
we haven't. We'll keep on
never
going.
gonna do
Roll it.
Anyway, anyone who wants anything designed, like a logo, a cool t-shirt, or they want to buy a t-shirt, you should go to twitter.com/myOhmydesign. Good friend of ours, Matt Young. He's brilliant. He is a graphic designer. He's got his own business. He has his own podcast as well.
Does he?
Yeah, he talks about, I think it's the Death Cult podcast, where they talk
Ooh.
about rock music and stuff like that. People should go and check that out.
Yeah.
I might remember to include that in the episode link. I may not.
You probably won't. Don't
I
worry.
probably won't.
It's
But
okay.
it's, everyone
nice.
should still go and check
Definitely.
out My Design. So that's twitter.com/mydesign. Should we do a podcast now?
Yeah. Welcome to Nerdschatting, movie, TV, comic chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, James.
Hey.
We are the Nerdschatting podcast. We're on our own today.
Uh-oh.
Nate's on holiday.
Yes.
I was on holiday last week.
Boo.
No podcast last week.
Not good.
Sorry about that. So what I should say is we are the Nerdschatting podcast. We talk about movies, TV shows, comic books, or, as James put it just a minute ago, videos,
Something or other.
computer games, and some other stuff.
Have we ever talked about computer games?
I think a long time ago we may mention it every now and
Oh,
then,
right,
but
okay.
it's not exactly.
So I'm
in
going
our
back in
wheelhouse.
time.
That's
Apologies.
fine, mate. Anyway, as you can tell this week, our illustrious/idiot leader Nate is not here.
Oh, and he's not a leader.
Well, he's a showrunner. He
Yeah.
normally introduces everything, sort of guides us through. So
Yeah.
we're going to try and keep this train on the rails this week, you and I. I'm going to lead. You're going to do your normal thing. I'm going to get everything wrong. You're going to laugh. People are going to switch off. It's going to be brilliant.
I think this is going to be probably the best downloaded podcast ever.
Let's hope so.
Breaking new records.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, we're going to give an update from Nate and the Italian, because they are currently on what they're calling their Southern America. I can't remember what it
Some
exactly
travel
is.
to Southern America.
They've got a little jingle. You can listen to it in the jingle, and you can check out what it is they've been up to.
Cool.
It's time for Nate and the Italians update on the Deep South Tour 2018.
Okay, so this is our first recording for the Nerdschatting podcast. Welcome everybody to America. We're currently in Wilmington, and I'm here with the Italian.
Well, howdy, y'all. How y'all doing?
We are sitting in Elijah's restaurant on the Wilmington River type thing. I don't know if it's the Wilmington River. The river in Wilmington.
Riverfront.
Creek. We've been here for 9 days now. Where did we start out? We went to Atlanta.
Yep.
And what did we do in Atlanta? First we went to the Botanical Gardens.
Yep.
That was real good.
Pretty.
It was very
Very
pretty.
pretty.
There was like dragons and
It was a special, like once upon a time
fantasy
thing. Yeah,
that
so
was
that's
real
right
good.
up our street.
And then next to Atlanta we went to the World of Coca-Cola, which was pretty awesome. You kind of paid to get advertised to, but I love Coca-Cola, so
The shop was real cool.
Yeah, it was real cool. I bought a Diet Coke t-shirt.
I bought a Christmas decoration.
And then we went. Before that we went to
Went
the
to Georgia Aquarium.
The Georgia Aquarium, which was amazing with some whale sharks, and the beluga whales are amazing.
Yeah.
They put it
Yeah.
online, so they were cool. So then we moved on. Did we do anything else in Atlanta? No.
We went to Stone Mountain.
I went to Stone
on the way
Mountain.
out
Stone
of
Mountain was
Atlanta.
great. Stone Mountain's like a
Massive stone.
Yeah, it's a massive rock that's raised out of the land.
It puts our tours on Dartmoor to shame.
It really does, yeah. And then
And it's carved.
It's carved. It's one of the guys. There were three guys
amazing.
that carved it, and one of the guys that carved it went on to do Mount Rushmore. And
It was really good.
it was really good.
good.
We got some photos of that, so
Saw
check
deer.
out. Yeah, we saw a deer jumped out in front of us on the road.
Exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. Then we drove down. We drove for 4.5 hours, which was the longest, most not boring, but like
It was
empty drive. It was just there was
pretty boring.
nothing in Georgia. We drove the whole state of Georgia down to Savannah. Savannah was beautiful,
And we
incredibly
stayed in
charming.
Tybee.
Yeah, Tybee Island too, but Savannah was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, real nice.
And we stayed in Tybee Island, which is like a beach resort, and went to Savannah for
It's
the
quite
day.
rustic, isn't it?
Yeah, it
like
is,
a rustic
yeah,
beach
yeah,
resort.
yeah.
It's not tourist tacky beach resort. It's pretty chill.
Yeah, At Savannah, we went to the Forsyth Park, which is where Forrest Gump was filmed.
Yeah.
Where he sits on the bench.
I really like Savannah.
And River Street, where there's candy stores and stuff. That was really cool.
Really good.
It really, with loads of charm in
the
Savannah.
Spanish moss trees.
Yeah,
really
it was really
pretty.
beautiful. So in Tybee, we stayed in Tybee, went on a dolphin tour.
Yeah,
So
that
some
was
live
so
dolphins, that was
exciting.
cool.
I
They
nearly
jumped on
cried.
us, yeah.
Really nearly cried.
Then we moved on to Charleston, and Charleston was very, very similar to Savannah. Not quite as charming, maybe,
I preferred Savannah.
but we went on a historic horse-drawn carriage tour. We found out
After the flash flood.
there was a flash flood. Yeah, the market
That was
flooded.
so exciting.
It was up to just beyond our ankles, and then within an hour or so, it was drained away again. It was really cool. So that was Charleston. That was pretty cool. Then we moved up to Myrtle Beach. And Myrtle Beach is kind of like we would say the Western-Supermare of America.
Yeah.
So it's like it's got a big wheel and it's got amusement parks and it's really cool and really fun,
Like
but really
lots of
touristy.
Ripley's,
Yeah, believe it or
or
not.
not,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like zombie stuff and
But we sat on the beach for a while.
techie shops.
But when we sat on the beach, we saw a black tip reef shark
Yeah.
in the shallows, so that stopped us
Right
from
next to
swimming
me.
again. Yeah, about 4 to 5 feet.
You can see the video footage somewhere.
Yeah,
It's
that's
coming
on
up,
your
it's
Instagram.
coming, it's coming.
And then we moved on to we were in Myrtle Beach. Then we moved on
That's
to.
cinnamon powder on that.
Oh, we just had a brownie delivered to us. We're in the restaurant. so
Pretty
had a brownie.
amazing.
Where did we go from Myrtle Beach? We went up to Sunset Beach and
Sunset Beach
Bird
and
Island.
Bird Island was beautiful.
Yes, we walked like about half a mile, which was full of tourists and people on like seats and
Yeah.
parasols and things. And then about half a mile afterwards, it was just this empty, giant beach. It was like think Jaws. It looked just
Yeah.
like Jaws. It was absolutely beautiful.
With
stunning.
pelicans, brown pelicans.
Brown pelicans only found in North America. And then we moved up to Wilmington, which is where we are now. And we're having dinner, and we're on the river, and it's absolutely beautiful.
It's perfect.
It is
like
perfect.
Dawson's Creek.
It-
Dawson's Creek
Dawson's Creek.
was filmed here.
Exactly right. Yeah. Apparently, Wilmington has a thriving film industry here. We were going to check
I've
out
seen
tomorrow.
loads of cheesy rom-coms, but not really rom-coms, just romantic films that are set in Wilmington.
Who was in the one you saw? It was Miley Cyrus and.
That's not Wilmington.
Oh.
That was Tybee.
Tybee Island. Okay, but that sort of thing. Set around
I've
here.
seen a few films that have been filmed here, which
Yeah.
is why we came here.
It's essentially Dawson's Creek.
Basically, I watched films, thought, oh my god, that looks so nice, I want to go there, and found out it was here.
So yeah, we'll check in next week, and hopefully we'll have some more updates for you. And we're heading on from here. We'll be going. Well, we're going to spend the day in Wilmington tomorrow, and then we're going to be heading on to Greenville in South Carolina. So see you soon. Bye.
It's time for Nate Down the Italians update on the Deep South Tour 2018.
So that was Nate and the Italian. They were in, actually, I should say, it's not on this, but they did say that part in Wilmington where they mentioned, parts of Iron Man 3 were filmed there. I think the final scene where you've got all the Iron Man suits against all the extremist
Yeah,
people.
that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Pretty good, right?
But he also, did you see in the, he texted us and use WhatsApp, shall I say, or whatever medium, and he was in the sea and there was a shark in there at the time, and this made the national press.
It did, and
Yeah.
he could have, if he'd contacted the press about that, he could have got money.
Yeah, he could have done.
But someone else got money.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Never mind.
Should we do some broken news?
Let's do some news. And there's been a lot of news, sorry.
Broken news.
There has been a lot of news, JB. There has been a lot of news. Obviously, we weren't here last week recording, so apologies for that. I was in Mallorca. Nate's wherever the hell he is. You're on your own. You don't want to record on your own.
I can't do this by myself.
That's fine.
I did ask to pimp myself out to other podcasts, but
No offers came in.
big zero. It's a bit like the UK in the Eurovision Song Contest.
That's a bit
Nil
depressing.
point.
Anyway, there is so much broken news to talk about. I'm just going to say that we do not have time to talk about the following headlines. That is Star Wars Episode 9 casting news, and they've started filming. Disney has finally bought Fox's entertainment assets.
We knew that was going to happen.
Spider-Man Far From Home official logo has been released, and apparently Sam Jackson and Kobe Smulders have been added to the cast.
That's pretty cool.
And apparently a Supergirl movie is in development. Anyway, we don't have time to talk about any
I'm
of
not
that.
talking about it.
So we're going to talk about the following things.
Yeah.
There was a Venom trailer released.
Yeah. What do you think?
Honestly,
Yeah.
okay. I like the design of Venom.
Yep.
I like the fact that he's huge, because
Yep.
Venom should be huge.
Yep.
I don't like the voice.
No, I can't understand him.
I didn't really get everything that he was talking about in his little
It
spiel
reminded
towards the
me
end.
of, is it Bane in Batman? Is it
Well,
Bane?
again, Tom
couldn't-
Hardy.
Yeah, I couldn't hear his voice. I needed subtitles.
I suspect that is not the final version of the voice. I suspect there's probably going to be a little bit of polishing of that.
I hope so.
I would hope so as well, because I've seen a few things on the internet where people are like, yeah, didn't really get what he was saying. Also, he was talking, there was something about, when I did decipher it, it was something about he'll eat his face and his arms and his legs, and you'll just be like a turd floating down the street.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, and I was like, what's all that about then?
It's a bit strong.
It's a bit strong.
I don't like, yeah.
Now, I do like the symbiote talking to Eddie when he is Eddie.
Yeah.
When they are Venom, I wasn't feeling the voice.
No, and Venom, like you said, Venom looks scary. He's got some big teeth. And
Does have some big teeth.
And I must coming from, I think we talked about this on a podcast earlier on, many moons ago, where we saw the first trailer and we were like,
The first trailer was pants.
it's a Venom trailer without any Venom. Now we got a lot of Venom.
A lot of Venom, yeah, that is true. I mean, okay, I didn't hate this trailer. I just had a couple of concerns here and there.
Yep.
Like I said, I think they're going to polish up the voice. I like the fact that he's big. I like the fact that people are scared of him. Apparently, there is no real hero in this film, so he is literally the anti-hero that is Venom.
Right.
Okay, that's fine. It looks like he's going to be fighting a symbiote called Riot, I think, and that might be Riz Ahmed, who is the bad, crazy doctor scientist guy in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this film. I'm going to go and watch this film. Yeah, you and I are going to go to the cinema and watch this film.
Okay, well,
all right.
Oh, you've talked me into it. If it's rubbish,
Because I've told you we're going, right?
Yeah. But if it's rubbish,
If it's
then
rubbish,
you
it's
owe
on me.
Yeah.
But I think this is possibly Sony's. I don't want to say their last punt, but this. If there were 6 nails in a coffin, this may be the 4th if this goes wrong.
Right.
I think obviously they've got a lot of eggs in the Spider-Man Homecoming basket, which we don't have time to talk about, unfortunately, on this podcast. But not Homecoming, sorry, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yes.
So I think if this doesn't go as well as they hope, and they don't continue with this as a franchise, and let's just see any of the other movies they might be talking about, like maybe a Kraven the Hunter movie they might be looking at.
Maybe.
That doesn't go very well. It could all be this comes back to Disney at some point.
And to confirm, this isn't a part of the MCU either, is it? Of the Venom.
Apparently it's not, but if it does well, apparently it might be.
All right,
but if it doesn't do well, then it's not.
All right, okay.
And the problem I have is if it doesn't do well, then Sony have gone and buggered up Venom. I mean, Disney can reboot him and do it very well if they get the opportunity to do it. But if it does well, this is the Venom that we've got now. Tom Hardy's in the MCU if it does well. We'll see. Anyway, the trailer, I don't want to go into it too much because it was what it is. It's fine. The movie's out, I think, in October or November or something.
Yeah, well, we both stated that we wouldn't go and see this film from the very first
I think
trailer,
I might have changed my mind.
So I think we've changed
From
our
the
mind.
first trailer, I didn't want to see it.
No.
From the second and bits of this one, I'll go and watch it.
Let's do it.
I think people are probably going to see this film.
Well,
we should probably review it.
Well,
okay. Right, let's move on. This came out literally shortly after or shortly before, I can't remember what, and I don't think you and Nate talked about it when you last recorded after with SDCC.
No, we didn't.
But apparently the DCEU, which was never officially called the DCEU, is actually called the Worlds of DC. Now, I think this is very, very clever.
Really? Why?
Okay. DC Comics have their main running titles with their main characters, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, etc. What they also do every now and then is they throw in what they call an Elseworld story. So they use Batman, but they do a different origin for Batman.
Right.
Or they do a different origin for Green Lantern or Superman, or they do an alternate take on that where Superman landed in Russia and he was the Russian sort of symbol of hope, all that sort of thing, and the leader of the Communist Party eventually, not the all-American hero. So what DC have in their comic books is they have Elseworld stories. What I think with calling their universe the worlds of DC, it would possibly enable them to tell multiple stories with their characters and set them in different universes, as it were, different worlds. So you can have a different Superman, and then you can have Henry Cavill come back as Superman later on. You can have Shazam that we're going to get next, and then you can have maybe a different Batman origin story, which is potentially might lead us on to our next story in a second. But I think this is actually pretty clever, because what it does is it means they don't have to set everything in one universe, one continuity, like Marvel have done.
Yep.
And now Marvel are getting to the end of some of their actors' contracts, and they're like, oh, what do we do here? Yeah. DC can just go, well, it's a different world. Different world, different Superman. Or Superman from a different place, and he looks a bit different.
Different Joker.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah, very good, JB.
Thanks very much.
Tell you what, you're catching on, mate.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like you're on a podcast or something.
No, mate, I just listen in every now and again.
So I think this is really, really clever. I think this is clever. From not having that in your locker, what do you think of this name? Just from the outside looking in a little bit.
I think based on like extended universe terminology, it kind of you're right. It means I've extended this to somewhere else, but it doesn't say that. It makes me feel that I'm going to use the same character again, the same person to play that character again. So I think it's pretty good. I wonder how much someone was paid to think about this and how long they were in a creative room. I'm sure they were having lots of Haribo and coffee and things. And then someone just went, it'd be really funny if we just called it the World of DC, and then everyone just turns around like that. What?
I like that. That's pretty good. So apparently this was announced during the Warner Brothers Hall H panel at Comic-Con San Diego, but I don't know. I don't know. Can't quite remember if it got mentioned or not the other week, so I thought I'd throw it in. But that's good, because then that gives you the fact that they've got Jared Leto Joker. They're about to have Joaquin Phoenix Joker, like you said.
Yes.
2 different Jokers. There's a comic book coming out in like the DC run of comics where it's 3 Jokers.
What?
So there could be another one coming. Yeah, apparently there are 3 Jokers
You're
in the
a
DC
Joker.
comic book.
Sorry.
This I'm aware of. Anyway, that was fun, and that leads on to the next story, which is about Matt Reeves' The Batman. Now,
is this a new film? I don't know anything about this.
Okay,
give me some updates, Ben.
Okay, so you know that Ben Affleck was going to direct a Batman film.
Yes.
As he was going to produce and write the script, direct it, and be the Batman.
Well, what a player manager
as he is in currently in the DC movies,
Yep.
in BVS and Justice League and Suicide Squad.
Yep.
So he backed out of that because they couldn't agree on a script. Matt Reeves came in and said, okay, I'm going to make this Batman film, and apparently it's going to be early life of Batman. So they may recast Batman. Again. Affleck is not confirmed if he's going to be in or out.
Well, if it's early life,
cares?
how can he?
Anyway, the story is that apparently it was going to be based around Batman Year One. Now, just a second. Just hold with me a second.
Yeah.
The internet went mental, lost their shit big time.
Why?
We've already had Batman Year One. It's called Batman Begins.
Yes.
It's the best origin of a superhero you can probably get.
It's not a bad film.
It's not a bad film. It's a very, very good film.
It is absolutely awesome.
Anyway, internet went mad. Everyone lost their shit. Everyone was like, we don't need this, yada, yada, yada. Matt Reeves came out and said, look, it's not Batman Year One. That's not to say that we won't take some elements of the Year One story and incorporate into ours, but it's not Batman Year One. So I don't know what we need to say any more about this, but Matt Reeves has said, don't believe everything you hear, son.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he said the following. He said, Year One is one of many comic books that I love. We're definitely not doing Year One. But that doesn't mean it won't pull inspiration from various Batman comics.
Oh, I like this.
There you go. Listen, if it had been Batman Year One, it would have been silly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they wouldn't have put the Batman Year One comic book and just literally picked it up and put it on the screen. Because if you've read that comic book, pretty much the main character is Jim Gordon. And Bruce Wayne and Batman are in it here and there.
Right.
Well, Batman's in it quite a bit, and Bruce Wayne's in it a little bit. But it's not really to do with Bruce Wayne or Batman as much as it is with Jim Gordon.
Right.
And he turns up in Gotham and everything that he has to deal with. So it would have been a missed opportunity. Anyway, Matt Reeves has come out and said, it's not happening. Everyone chill out. I've got this.
He's got it.
So that's fine.
Do you think he's going to do a good job?
Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
I think so. I
Smash
think
it.
we'll get a pretty good Batman movie out of him. Plus, if they call a Batman film The Batman, something inside me will just be a little bit overjoyed because that is how he was known for a long time. He was The Batman, so it's great. Also, apparently, the script draft could be done in as little as 2 weeks, although this was... Oh, no. This was yesterday, apparently.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was early in August. Oh, American timestamps, mate. They
I can't
always
stand
lose
it.
me.
I was like that. What?
So the film could start filming. The script for the film could be ready in 2 weeks, or the first draft, and then they might polish it a little bit. And hey, it could be in development hell for 18 months to 2 years, or it could start shooting
Cool.
like early next year. Who knows?
Is Affleck going to be in any more Batman then?
Well, that's what I said at the start. He's not confirmed that he is. He's not confirmed that he isn't. I think they're waiting for the delivery of the script
To see
to find out how old this Batman is supposed to be portrayed. Bearing in mind it's the worlds of DC,
Yeah.
so it could be, okay, so this is him early, this is a different Batman,
Yeah.
and Affleck is still Batman but in something else. Who knows?
Who knows what's going on?
Nothing really matters at all.
As long as it's the Batman.
Anyway, in further news, related to DC Worlds, I'm going to say that, and this is pretty great actually, Ruby Rose has been cast in the CW Arrow Flash verse as Batwoman.
Yeah.
Now, James, what do you know about Batwoman?
I know very little apart from that she is a lesbian.
Fine, yes, okay. I mean, that is technically the truth.
Yeah.
She is an openly gay socialite who dons a cape and cowl to fight crime in Gotham City. Her name is Kate Kane. I actually think this is an inspired bit of casting. And it's not just because that Ruby Rose is a gay actress. It's also the fact that Ruby Rose has got an action background. She really kind of, if you picture her with the red wig and the cowl, she looks the part.
Yeah, she does.
I think
I've got a
she'll
picture
be-
here, and she looks pretty nasty.
She does. Well,
Yeah.
oh, not nasty.
No, but like
she's got the angular face.
Yeah.
She can do action. She was in John Wick 2. She's been in, what else was she in? She was in that film Triple X, The Return of
Resident Evil.
what's his face?
Oh,
The return of the return of I Am Groot, whatever
Yeah.
he's called. Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Xander Cage.
yes, there it is. John
Got it.
Wick.
Yeah, John Wick.
And she's in the Meg, which is opening.
She is about to be in the Meg.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that film.
No.
We'll let Nate watch that,
Yeah,
that film
and he
tell
can
us all
review it
about
himself.
Yeah, what a prick. But I think this is a great bit of casting. I haven't heard anything from Nate about this. He's on his holidays, but all the CW actors who portray those sort of heroes, they all look beautiful.
Yes.
And she is a beautiful woman. There's
Yeah.
no doubting that at all.
Edgy. That's what she is. Did we say edgy?
You've said edgy now, and I'm going to back you with
Yeah.
that. She has an edgy look.
Yeah.
And that is what I want in a Batwoman character.
Yeah, I've got it.
Now, I have to ask you, does this mean that you are going to go back to the CW? Because I'm not going to lie to you, JB.
Yeah.
I am interested to see what happens with this show. This is the first casting news from a CW show that has made me go, oh, do you know what? I want to know more about this.
Yeah, well, again, many podcasts ago, I came to the end of my Arrow and Flash relationship, and I asked the people what I should do. The people replied and said, just cut and run for those shows. They're rubbish. But
Yes.
the challenge is now, we've got this new character coming. What am I going to do?
This is what I'm asking you. What are you going to do?
The crossover, the Arrowverse crossover, apparently won't include the Legends of Tomorrow, which I tapped out of a long time ago.
Sure.
But it will be. It will have Arrow, it will have the Flash and Supergirl. But I never watched Supergirl, apart from the times when there were the crossovers. So then I had to watch them to see what the full picture looked like.
Oh, yeah.
So
It was like Crisis on Planet X or Earth X or whatever it was.
how do you know this?
Oh, just because I saw the poster for it.
Yeah, all right. You watched it secretly.
No, it was mentioned on this podcast.
I'm just pulling your
Don't
leg.
shortchange me, son. all right?
Anyway, so it depends. I might just pick up the shows to then see how it all play out.
Actually, yeah, and exactly. It says the actress model / Ruby Rose has been cast as CW's Batwoman. She'll make her debut in December during the annual Arrowverse crossover. So she'll turn up during that regular thing they do around episode 7 of each of their seasons, and then she'll star in her own television pilot.
Yes.
So I think I'll probably try and check out the crossover, see what that's all about, and then if the pilot comes along, hopefully not too far after that, I'll check that out as well.
Yep, I'm going to check it out.
But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go back and commit myself to starting to watch The Flash again, to try and get into Arrow, to try and get into Legends of Tomorrow, to try and get into Supergirl. I can't do it.
At the Comic-Con, they released trailers for Arrow and The Flash. I'm not interested.
Really?
Not interested. So it couldn't be bothered.
Right, let's move on. Sorry, final thing about that piece of casting news. Are you happy? Yes or no?
Yes.
Me too, good. Right, moving on. Next bit of news. Patrick Stewart has confirmed, and it has been confirmed by CBS as well, that Patrick Stewart will return as Jean-Luc Picard in a new series. Not, as I originally thought, coming back in Star Trek Discovery.
No.
Because you messaged me about it and Nate, and I was like, oh yeah, he's coming back and he's going to be in Discovery. And Nate was like, false.
Yes.
That's not right. And I was like, okay, I should probably research this a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool news though, isn't it?
This is great
I
news.
loved Star Trek The Next Generation.
I did.
Absolutely loved it.
Plus, I like all the Next Gen movies. And I think that Jean-Luc Picard is the best captain.
Yeah. Well,
he's better than Kirk, in my opinion.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone just dropped a mic.
I know, right?
Set. Wow.
Let me read out what he said in his official statement. This is Patrick Stewart. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I will always be very proud to have been part of Star Trek The Next Generation. But when we wrapped that final movie in the spring of 2002, I truly felt that my time with Star Trek had run its natural course. That last film, by the way, was Star Trek...
Generations?
No, it was...
Was it the crossover with all the captains?
No, it's the one with Tom Hardy. Star Trek, not Insurrection, not the one with the Borg. Oh, God, I've forgotten.
Anyway, only if we could find a way.
You look it up whilst I keep talking.
Are you going to be talking? Okay. Well, Star Trek films with Captain Picard.
It's the one where he has to fight his clone, and his clone is Tom Hardy. And he is he's a Romulan. And I cannot believe I've forgotten it. I keep on coming back to Insurrection, but it's not.
No,
just go to IMDb.
Mate, I'm looking. Unfortunately, the tinterweb here is not great.
Anyway, he said
Nemesis.
Nemesis. That's the treacle. There you go.
Of course.
I can't believe I've got it. You know what? Nate is in America right now, ripping his hair out. But I forgot the name of that.
I think he shaved it. Have you seen a picture? Only joking.
I was going to say what? Anyway, back to the statement from Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
It is, therefore, an unexpected but delightful surprise to find myself excited and invigorated to be returning to Jean-Luc Picard and to explore new dimensions within him, seeking out new life for him when I thought that life was over. During these past years, it has been humbling to hear stories about how the next generation brought people comfort, saw them through difficult periods in their lives, and how the example of Jean-Luc inspired so many to follow in his footsteps, pursuing science, exploration, and leadership. I feel I'm ready to return to him for the same reason, to research and experience what comforting and reforming light he might shine on those that have on these very often dark times. I look forward to working with our brilliant creative team as we endeavour to bring a fresh, unexpected, and pertinent story to life once more.
Brilliant. Sounds like a load of cack to me.
Patrick. Listen.
Who wrote that out? And when did Twitter allow you to have so many? I thought you were limited to 255 characters.
No. I think he wrote that in like a memo app on his phone.
Oh, right,
took a picture of it and then published it.
Oh, right, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Anyway,
he boldly wants to go where no man has gone before with Jean-Luc Picard, yeah?
Well, it's no one has gone before.
Well, whatever. You say potato, I say potato.
Okay, there's nothing about when this is going to happen, when this is going to be done, I don't think.
It's probably going to be on Netflix, so I can't watch it.
Well, it'll be another CBS show, because CBS are owned by Paramount, and Paramount own the rights to Star Trek.
Right.
I think. Or one of those studios.
Right,
I'm pretty sure it's Paramount. So anyway, this will come along. This is yet another thing that's coming back, a TV show that's coming back, or a character from a TV show that's coming back. I'm happy with this because, like I said, I love Jean-Luc Picard. I think Patrick Stewart is great.
Yeah. What do you think? Riker will be there? Worf?
Well, I think...
Deanna Troi?
I think what you'll probably get is
Wesley? Oh, just to name a few.
Oh, do you know what? If Wesley Crusher turns up, I'm out. No, that's not true. I like Wesley
I
Crusher.
can imagine a
But I think-
Star Trek reunion and Wesley Crusher just walks in and everyone's like, I'm out.
Screw this. What's going on here? Come on, Wesley Crusher. No, Will Wheaton's a saint. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think what you'll probably get is I don't think they'll be in the show because otherwise it would just be called Star Trek: The Next Generation again. I think he'll be the main focus as he looks like he's going to be. And you might get guest stars every now and then from like Geordie or from Riker or from Deanna or from Beverly. Data's a little bit difficult to do because Data is an android and he's not supposed to change. No. And obviously, Brent Spiner has aged in the last 30 years. So, you know.
Maybe they're CGI him up.
Tricky. You know, they could CGI him up. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
They could young him up a little bit.
Yep.
But I don't know. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to any new Star Trek shows. I'm always keen to watch. And anything with Jean-Luc Picard in, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm in.
This is good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Nate will be happy about this.
Yeah, I would have thought
or he won't be. Who knows?
Who cares?
Anyway, next bit of news. This is a very briefly. I want to stop on this.
Yep.
And this may have been debunked already, but I don't care. Did you see that apparently in Infinity War, one of the Black Order, Thanos' Black Order, was potentially wearing something,
Yes.
a little sash, that may or may not have been a very big hint to Captain Marvel?
I didn't notice this Easter egg as people were calling it now.
Now, well, I think that is technically its name in the modern world. It is an Easter egg. I don't know if this is true. It could be a load of rubbish. Some people have come out and said, well, actually, I've got the statue of this guy. It's Cull Obsidian, you know, the big hulking guy.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look at it, it's orange and purple. It's not red and blue. So what the hell do you know? Yeah. Again, that could just be...
It's just building
lie.
up. It's
Who
building
have
up
you?
for the next for Captain Marvel and the next Avengers film already.
That's right.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is out. It's now what's the next one in line? Let's start building it up again.
What I can't believe is that I didn't spot this when I was watching Infinity War, or other people didn't spot it, and it's only sort of come out now, like 3 months later, after Infinity War's dropped. So, do you know what? If it is a little nod and a wink to Captain Marvel, great. And if it isn't, who cares?
No one.
Doesn't matter.
Just do it. Move
Anyway, on Marvel news, and obviously after the news that James Gunn is out and not coming back.
And Nate and I talked about this.
Yes, you did. Dave Bautista, Drax himself, has threatened to quit Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 if Disney doesn't use James Gunn's script for that film. So this is the shooting script that James Gunn had written and finished and was going to go into production with. Bautista said, look, you don't use that script, I'm out.
I'll give you one word. Turmoil.
Well,
This is what this caused. There's a whole lot of turmoil going on here.
I know. Okay, I don't want to get into this too much because I think you and Nate covered it completely. But this is what Bautista said. He said, nobody's defending his James Gunn's tweets, but this was a smear campaign of a good man. I spoke to Chris Pratt the day after it happened, and he's a bit religious, so he wanted to pray and figure it out. But I was more like, fuck this. This is bullshit. James is one of the kindest, most decent people I've ever met. And then he went on to say, where I'm at right now is that if Marvel don't use that script, then I'm going to ask them to release me from my contract, cut me out, or recast me. I'd be doing James a disservice if I didn't. Now, I think that what Mr. Bautista's done here has entered in a very high-level poker game with Marvel, one which he has absolutely no way of winning.
He showed his hand, hasn't he?
He has shown his hand a little
Before
bit.
he's
He's
even
brought a knife to a gunfight, mate.
Well, mate, he's shown his hand before he's even seen the river.
Listen, I think that's nice. That's
Yeah.
a Texas Hold'em pun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
thanks
good.
very much.
I think that Marvel will say, if you don't star in this film, we are not releasing you from your contract. We will sue you for everything.
Wow.
If they play hardball, if they let him go, it could be that he is someone who is sacrificed in the Thanos snap and doesn't ever come back, or they recast him, which Marvel have done. They recast Jim Rhodes, Rhodey.
Yeah.
They recast other people. I can't even think who. No. Thanos was recast, for God's sake. You know, so
Yep.
I don't know. This is a real shame. I don't know if Marvel are going to look at using James Gunn's script. I think there's possibly some rumor about they might want to incorporate more of a Nova sort of character.
Yep.
So with Xandar and the Nova Corps destroyed in Infinity War, what you'll probably have there is one member of the Nova Corps left, someone called Richard Rider, probably, who'll gather all of the power of the Nova Corps and become Nova, like the human rocket. So I think if they go that way and they don't use Gunn's script and Batista sticks to his morals and actually walks away from it, could be a real shame.
Could be
a real shame.
Guardians of the
But I
Galaxy.
think that Batista leveling these threats at Marvel and at Disney is not a good idea.
No.
It really isn't. And what it's doing is it's making a pretty depressing situation with James Gunn and all that stuff, which I'm not going to defend, but it's making that situation even worse.
Yeah.
It's dragging it out, and we're even dragging it out talking about it now. I don't know, man. I think he could be gone, and that's a real shame.
It will be. Guardians of the Galaxy, absolutely brilliant.
It is. Right, well, moving on from that, we've got two more pieces of news. One that I'm going to very quickly skip over here. You brought this to my attention.
Yeah.
I didn't even see this, but apparently Robert Redford has officially retired from acting.
Yeah.
So his next film that's coming out is one that we saw a trailer for a couple of weeks back.
Man
called
and Old Gun?
The Old Man and the Gun,
Yeah.
that's right. Which Nate is dead keen to see, and I must admit, I quite like the look of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, never say never, but I pretty well concluded that this would be it for me in terms of acting. I'll move towards retirement, and this, because I've been doing it since I was 21, I thought, well, that's enough. And why not go out with something that's very upbeat and positive?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I think that's a great idea.
But he's a director as well, so he may be doing more things behind the camera. One thing that I didn't know about him is he's the founder of the Sundance Film Festival.
Yeah, well, he's a Sundance kid, isn't he, from Butch
But
Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
you say it like I should know it, but I didn't know it.
Well, I thought you knew he played that actor.
I did.
And you thought that he may have, named a festival after a famous character he played.
No.
No?
No.
Fine.
Cool.
Obviously, he was Alexander Pierce in Captain America, The Winter Soldier.
Yep.
The best Captain America film? The best Marvel film?
Yep.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Anyway, it's a shame that he's going, but you know what? 81 years old. If he's leaving, if the Old Man and the Gun is as upbeat as he seems to say it is, then
Yep.
you know what? Fair play, mate. Walk off into the sunset. You've had a good innings.
Yeah.
81 in cricket is good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 19 short of 100, which is a shame.
But I bet that's a good innings.
That's a good innings, right?
To do that, yeah, definitely.
Good man. Well done. Final bit of news.
And this is interesting.
This is proper interesting, actually. I'm really, really very, very keen on this. So, BBC News Entertainment and Arts website is reporting that the Oscars, the Academy Awards, I should say, are planning to introduce a new award for Outstanding Popular Film.
Yes.
Now, why is this big news, JB?
Because basically it's not the critics voting for it, it's the people, which I think is brilliant. But what you may get is you may get one-hit wonders. So you know when you have songs like Mr. Blobby, for example, where it goes to number one.
Get out of here with that reference.
In the hit parade.
The hit parade. Oh my God.
You
I
may
don't even know what's happening right now.
You may get that with films.
Make references that people will understand.
I-
So a one-hit wonder.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
So, but do you get that with films generally? No. Because you got the Rotten Tomatoes. So if it's a pants film, it's a pants film.
Okay, so I'm going to embellish on this a little bit more. I think for me, what this means is if this award was in place
Yes.
in 2008,
Yeah.
10 years ago,
Yep.
The Dark Knight would likely have won best
Popular film.
outstanding popular film.
Yeah.
And then Best Picture would have gone to whatever the hell it went to. I think in 2008, I'm going to really put myself on the spot here.
I've got no
I
idea.
think it was, what's that film where it's set in India and the guy wins, like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Slumdog Millionaire. Boom!
I think it's that movie. Well
Right,
done,
okay.
mate. It's like I set that up for you and you knocked it out of the park.
I can see it, mate. I've got a home run.
It's gone. It's gone. You can't even see it anymore.
See ya.
But this is exciting because
Yep.
I think that what it means is you're still going to get your, the Academy and the Academy voting for the films that are like, indie darlings and they
bit
make
like-
everyone cry and they change the world in some way or they make people
Yeah.
see, a period in history that was really, really difficult for some reason. And then you get outstanding popular film and you get a Marvel film or a DC film. Imagine Wonder Woman could have won this.
Yeah.
It really could have done.
Well, it could be, you
The
know.
Nolan Batman films, like I've said, it could be anything. It could be a comedy that wins this, for God's sake.
Yeah. Anchorman, brilliant.
Anchorman could win this. But you know what? What it does is it opens up. I don't know how they're going to do the voting. I don't know when it's going to come in. I don't think it's going to be in time for the 2019 Academy Awards, which is in whatever it is, February next year. But I think this is basically the Academy going, do you know what? I think we need to be a little bit more relevant to what people are actually enjoying today, and what is making all the money today.
Yeah.
Isn't like sweeping epics or westerns like it used to be. It's this new genre of film.
Yeah.
It's superhero, it's action, it's comedy, or it's a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Or it's sci-fi. Star Wars, for Christ's sake, could walk away. Episode 9 could walk away as the outstanding
of course it
popular
could.
film. This is fantastic. And what it does is I think for me, it makes the Academy Awards, it makes the Oscars relevant again, because I don't think they've been relevant for a little while.
No.
Don't get me wrong, I know they're still the biggest thing in the film industry, and everyone wants to know who's going to win the Oscar, and it changes people's careers. But this opens it up for me, and it makes it a lot more inclusive.
Yeah.
And in this time of maybe the world not being as inclusive as it should be, but it's
Right.
getting there.
Yeah.
This is what they're doing to bring themselves into that fold.
You're right.
I'm happy.
They need to recognise that films coming out these days, you know, because of the comics and bringing that into the cinematic universe, cinematic area.
Damn
It's
right.
good.
Yeah,
it's good.
it is.
It's good all round. It's
I'm
good all round.
very happy about this. I'd be very interested to know what Nate's take is on this. Maybe he'll let us know. Maybe he won't even listen to this podcast.
He should do. In fact, I'm good. Let's do it. Nate, what do you think about this? I would like you to see a reply on our Twitter account.
And when you
Cheers.
reply, include this word. Bing!
Yeah.
There you go. Good.
Thanks.
Right, that's the end of the news, JB.
Yeah, good news.
I think we've done it, haven't we?
Yeah,
Well, we've done the news anyway.
Yeah.
There was a lot of news. How long have we been recording for? 37 minutes? It's probably not going to be that long after a couple of little edits here and there. Right, let's get on to Nerd Scene, shall we?
Let's do it. Quick.
Nerd Scene. Right, do you want to go first?
Yeah, do you know what? You go on holiday, Nate goes on holiday, I smash my TV watching. Absolutely fantastic.
Hang on, let's also say that this coincided with Love Island finishing.
Oh, hashtag Love Island, yeah.
Okay, fine.
I'm hashtag loyal. Thanks.
Who won Love Island?
Jack and Danny.
Oh, so it's two people that win it. It's not one person.
It's a couple.
Oh, okay,
And
right,
it's
fine.
Danny Dyer's daughter, Danny, with an I.
Danny Dyer?
Danny Dyer. What?
All right, yeah. You
Geez.
prick. Anyway,
All
carry
right,
on.
brother.
All right, bruv. Carry on. Anyway, so yeah, you've been watching a lot of stuff whilst Nate
Yeah.
and I've been away.
So,
what have you been watching?
First thing that I watched was The Martian. Hadn't seen that before.
Oh, with Ben
Matt-
Affleck's best friend,
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Yeah, yeah. What do you think of that?
I thought it was good. A little bit unbelievable. Thought someone should have died at the end.
Well, based on a book,
Yeah.
set in the future but not too far future.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, but I just thought, in a nutshell, I thought both me and the wife were watching it. I genuinely thought someone was going to die. Someone's going to die. And when they were rescuing Matt Damon's character, whose name I will forget, and they're trying to catch him in space, and someone's going to go out there. There's a kiss between two of the astronauts. I thought he's definitely going to go, but they didn't. It was kind of like, oh well.
Yeah.
I'm glad everyone's all right. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Oh, thumbs up.
Yeah,
Good.
good. I also then watched Dredd.
So this is the remake of Dredd,
Yeah.
not the Stallone Judge Dredd,
No.
but the remake with Carl Urban Dredd.
Yeah, and Lena. Oh, I've forgotten.
Hetty.
Yeah, that's the dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, one
from
from Game of
Cersei
Thrones.
from Game of Thrones.
Cersei, yeah. Brilliant. Really liked it,
Isn't it
actually.
good?
Yeah, just really like sort of, nasty, bloody. Exactly all the things that I thought Dredd should be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I absolutely loved it.
And he kept the helmet on.
He did.
Well, there was one time when he put it on, but he was in the shadow and you never saw his face.
Yeah, it must be difficult, though, for Carl to play the character and just look. I can't. Can you do a Judge Dredd face?
No, not even going to attempt it.
I'm trying.
It's very lippy. He's
Yeah.
got a very and he's got a very pronounced jaw. But
Yeah.
that's
I
who
liked
he
it.
is. I don't think he's ever taken his helmet off and revealed his face in the comic books.
No, well, then
If only there was some way to look it up and find out. Fortunately, there isn't, so we're not
we
going to.
won't bother. And the final thing I watched, which I thought was absolutely outstanding. And
Oh,
when
wow.
I say it was outstanding, so I recorded it. It's something called Save Me.
It's on Sky One, right?
No, Sky Atlantic.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Right.
It's UK TV series. It's got our friend Lenny James in there.
Morgan from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and it's got Saran Jones. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
I think it is as well.
And so it's 6-part. I recorded it. It's months ago because there was some good things on Twitter. I watched it. I watched the first episode. I was like, yeah, I'll watch the next one the following night. I was like, yeah, I'll watch the next one the following night. And I did. Then I watched 2 the following night. And then I watched all of them the following night after that. So third night.
Steamed through the lot.
Wow.
So what's the basic premise of Save Me?
So basically, Lenny James plays a character called Nelly. He's in London. He's based in London. He's kind of like a down and out kind of guy, bit of a wide boy, got loads of friends, and he has a daughter with Saran Jones, Jodie, but he doesn't have anything to do with her.
Previous relationship or marriage or
yeah,
something?
kind of previous relationship. I don't think they were married. But then actually, Jodie leaves a message to say that she's going to go and look for her father, Nelly, who she has never met. And she goes missing. And then there's all the things about trying to find her. And I don't really want to say any more than that.
Sounds like anything more than that, you'll spoil it, probably.
Yeah. There are, I've probably coined this phrase before, but there's more twists and turns in it than a curly whirly, Cadbury's curly whirly.
That's very
it's
good.
Absolutely, it's just absolutely fantastic.
Right.
A little bit dark, that you're pretty good, Ben, at guessing things. And we can talk about that later on in our Ant-Man and the Wasp.
We'll see.
But I was kind of like, wow, where did this come from? And a twist, yeah. I would definitely recommend it. It's like I said, 6 parts, probably 45, 50 minutes each. Do it.
I will see if I can download and give that a try.
Lenny and Saran are absolutely fantastic. There are other big characters in there, or actors. Stephen Graham, he's pretty cool.
Yeah. He was in the This Is England series, and he was also in Broadwalk Empire as Al Capone.
Yes, he was. I want to high five you if you weren't so far away. But yeah,
stay away.
It's one of the best things I've watched for ages.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I
It's
might
well
have to
worth
check this out. Save Me.
Yeah.
On Sky Atlantic.
Yeah, and I've also got with Benedict Cumberbatch in. Oh, Patrick Melrose. I've got that to watch.
I've seen this advertised. I don't know what it's about, and I don't want to watch it, I don't think.
I'll tell you all about it next week.
You tell me all about it, and maybe I'll see.
Cool.
Okay.
What about you, Ben? What have you been doing?
Well, I have been watching for about 3 or 4 years a TV show called The Americans.
Right.
And as I've been watching it for 3 or 4 years because I watch a season and then it ends, and then the next one comes out and I watch that and it ends. But The Americans is absolutely brilliant.
Right.
It is about a bunch of deep cover Russian spies living in America as Americans and doing espionage type things for the KGB, which they call the Center.
Right.
To steal secrets, develop contacts, bring people over to the side of the Russians. And they're doing it under the nose of a neighbour of theirs who's an FBI guy who has developed a very close relationship with their family. And it is so freaking tense, it is unbelievable.
Oh, good.
It's I'm watching the last season, which I think is season 6, but I might be wrong. It's great. It's really, really good. If you like sort of Cold War spy thrillers, this is the program that you should be watching. Right. It is crackerjack, mate. It was shown on ITV, and it was on ITV. Then they moved to ITV3. Yeah. Then they moved it to ITVB. Then it's on ITV4, and it's always on at stupid times at the night, which is bloody stupid. But if this had like a prime time viewing slot, I think it would be so popular you wouldn't believe it. It's great.
All right.
Absolutely great. So I'm coming to the end. I think I've got about 7 episodes left of the last season.
Cool.
So I'll come back and report on that.
Good, do it.
Next thing I've been watching is Billions.
Yeah.
You ever heard of this?
Yes, I know exactly about this. My brother-in-law has been telling me very good things about this. I need to get involved in it. The
God.
challenge is I've got MasterChef Australia kicking off.
Oh my God! What are you gonna do?
It's just not my TV, okay?
Do you know what? We'll plan to go to the cinema, and you'll go. Oh, I can't go on this night because I'm watching MasterChef.
Oh no, I don't mind missing one. Especially if it's sort of.
Especially if you've got space to record it, right?
Yeah, and also they do like these masterclasses, which I'm not that interested in. But please tell me more about Billions.
Oh yes, right, Billions. I forgot we were talking about MasterChef. Yeah. Okay, so it's set in the world of. It's set in New York, and it's you got a guy called Bobby Axelrod, who's played by
Damian Lewis,
British actor, who's like a billionaire investment guy, hedge fund manager, basically, who's got his own business, Axe Capital.
Yep.
And he's a little bit of a wrong-un, and he.
But do you know the reason why he's a bit of a wrong-un?
Yes.
Because he bet on, so he put some money on before the towers went.
Yes.
Isn't it?
You find that out in season 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a spoiler. That's okay.
Hashtag
Spoilers.
Oh my
Hashtag
goodness.
James has fucked it.
Oh no!
Don't worry about
You're
it.
swearing. We're going to put explicit lyrics on this today.
We always do. Mate.
Okay,
we always
cool.
do. You and I are here. It's always explicit.
I never say that word.
Anyway.
Did I not mean to spoil?
No, it's fine. I've forgotten where I was. Yeah, so Bobby Axelrod is this hedge fund owner, little bit of a wrong-un, little bit sort of does illegal things to make money for his family, for his kids, but also for himself.
Yeah.
He comes up against District Attorney Chuck Rhodes, played by Paul Giamatti, who is a flaming amazing actor.
Yes.
There is absolutely nothing this guy cannot do. He is brilliant. And what it's turned into is almost like a personal cat and mouse game of one-upmanship between the two of them.
Yeah.
Yes, he's this billionaire. Yes, he's this high-powered, basically lawyer who's going to get into politics.
Yeah.
And all they want to do is destroy each other. And it is absolutely brilliant.
Right.
It is so good. There's no action. There's no big shootout or fight scenes. It's all conversations in rooms about how to make money, how to get the guy who's making money illegally. Yeah. And it's brilliant. I love it. And if you've got any time,
I will
try and check it out, mate, because it is so good.
I do want to see it. I do. I need to book some time in. In fact, I don't know if it's available via Sky by box sets.
It probably is.
But if it is, I've done it once.
You'll do it again. Yeah, okay, good. I also read some comic books whilst I was on holiday, but I encourage you to follow me on Twitter and check out my comic book reading list, which is on my pinned tweet. So if you just search for Ben_Nerdchat, you'll find me on Twitter and you can see what I'm up to. Anyway, I think that's the end of Nerd Scene.
Let's do it.
Shall we review a movie?
Oh, can we please?
Shall we review Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Shall we?
Shall we do non-spoiler and then spoiler?
That sounds like a really good plan.
I think so too. Right. So we went to our local View cinema on Tuesday night, and we went to see Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Ant-Man and the Wasp is the sequel to 2015's Ant-Man. It stars Paul Rudd, as Ant-Man, Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp. You've got Michael Pena coming back as Luis. You've got Wally Goggins in there. You've also got, of course, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer coming in as the original The Wasp, and Larry Fishburne himself.
Wow.
Amongst other people.
Yes.
What did you think of this film? No spoilers, JB. What did you think of this film off the bat?
Enjoyable, funny, loved it. There you go. That is
enjoyable, funny, loved it. I mean, that's 4 words.
Yeah.
I'll take that. That's good.
It was good. It was, I think, I described it as a family version of Deadpool because there are a lot of jokes in there.
Mm-hmm. Not so many dick jokes.
Not so many, and no swearing either.
No.
I thought. I mean,
leave that to us.
Yeah. Many moons ago, when I was looking at my Marvel back catalogue of things that I needed to watch, you mentioned the Ant-Man, and I was kind of like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I think you and Nate had to twist my arm a little bit. And I watched it, and I did really enjoy it.
Sure.
It was just that sit back, relax movie. It could be on a Sunday afternoon, that type of thing. Just, let's put that on. Brilliant.
It's the type of film, though, that you can show to younger kids.
Yes,
I think
would say
Ant-Man. Ant-Man and the Wasp as well, I think you can do the same.
Yeah.
Because it gives them almost like an introduction to this universe, but it's not too scary.
Yeah.
It's not too, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, in Ant-Man, you know, the bad guy's a little bit murdery, isn't he? But in Ant-Man and the Wasp, is there really a murdery guy?
No.
Not really so much. Let's not go into spoilers too much.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this film as well. I thought it was, we laughed.
A lot.
More than I thought we would. I thought I'd laugh more than you. I don't know why I thought that, but I did.
No,
but we laughed at all the same beats throughout this movie. It was great.
Yeah.
I think that Paul Rudd is absolutely perfect casting as Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know everything. He's got a little bit of knowledge, but he only knows what he knows. His comedic timing is absolutely off the chain.
Yes.
Mate. It is unbelievable. He bounces off Michael Douglas, man, he's great in this film, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think he... I don't know, sometimes I feel it, when I was watching it, it felt like he kind of missed a little bit of the comedy timing sometimes.
Really?
Yeah,
I
just
thought he
sometimes.
nailed it.
Well, maybe. I just thought that, I guess because of his stature as an actor and the things that he's done. So he's doing a bit like what Robert De Niro's done, where he was in these big sort of Goodfellas taxi driver thing, whatever it is, big hard-hitting drama films, and now they're moving on in their age as actors, and now they're doing something more funny. So sometimes it's really difficult for me to relate to him because he's not naturally...
Because he's called him Gecko.
Yeah, he's just not like Paul Rudd is funny.
No.
But it's like the punchline. You could have the funniest joke, but if someone couldn't say the punchline...
But what he is, I think, he's the straight man to Paul Rudd's comedy partner. Mm-hmm. You know, he's the straight man. He's the guy... He's Nate.
Like Hale and Pace.
Wow. That's a very 80s reference you've just thrown into this podcast.
I would.
That's incredible.
Thank
wow. Okay. What about Evangeline Lilly? She's great, right?
Awesome.
She
smashed it. She smashed it.
She's the action star of this film.
Yeah.
She's absolutely brilliant. And there's some Black Widow moves that she's got going on. She's a badass fighter.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
Who'd win in a fight, Black Widow or the Wasp?
The Wasp, because of her tech.
Take the tech away.
Oh, take the tech away.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand combat with no tech.
No tech.
Black Widow.
Agreed.
With tech, the Wasp. Definitely. I mean, if they fought 10 times with tech, you probably say that Black Widow would maybe figure her out towards like the 7th, 8th, 9th,
She's quick
10th
though.
fight.
Could she have like a pair of tweezers, get the Wasp when she's small?
No.
Mr. Miyagi could do it.
Well, fine. Yeah, sure. But this is not Mr. Miyagi. Anyway, what are we talking about? Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Sorry.
Right, okay. I think we should probably skip over the no spoilers bit. We both really enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
There are lots of Easter eggs. I would encourage you to go and check out Mr. Sunday Movies Easter eggs on this film. Easter egg video he did. There are ties into Infinity War, which we'll get into in spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
And there are...
You touched my leg when that happened.
I did touch your leg when that happened. Plus, I called something in the film, which we'll get into in spoilers, which turned out to then literally 30 seconds later be true.
Are we in spoilers now?
We're going to get to spoilers after you give it a non-spoiler review.
And what we do, I can never remember. What number do I normally give it out
You can
of?
give it any number out of any number you like. You can give it a rating out of 200 if you want.
Nah, let's just keep it simple. If it was out of 5, I think I would give it a 4.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
go
It's not
out.
perfect, but it's good.
Yeah, I think so.
There's more good than...
As good as Ant-Man? Better.
Ooh.
I know, right?
I think better, mainly because the Wasp's hairdo was doing my head in the first one. It's just too sleek.
What, the bob?
Yeah,
You don't
didn't
like
like
the
the
bob?
bob. Didn't like the bob.
No?
Nah, just yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it's better than.
I didn't realise you were so vain,
Mate,
actually,
I can
JB.
be. Well, I just like people's appearance. Keep yourself tidy.
Okay, fine, fair enough. If I'm gonna review it out of 10, I'm gonna give it a solid 7.
Ooh.
Solid 7. It's not an 8. It didn't change my life. It's not a 9 or a 10, but 7. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So 7 wasp stinger things out of 10 ant hills. Nice. I'll take that. That's good. Right, we're going to get into spoilers in this film now. If for some reason you live in a part of the world where this film only came out recently and you haven't seen it yet, please check the episode description for the timestamps, because I do take a bit of effort and put the effort in and the time to give you timestamps for everything that we talk about.
So Nate, stop listening now.
Yeah,
If you haven't,
if
seen,
you haven't
it.
seen it.
Is he going to? Do you think he's going to see it over
I
there?
think he did say he was going to try and go and see it. He's
Alright.
got to convince the Italian. That's the problem.
And they are.
However, it is a funny Marvel film,
She'd like this.
so I think she'd probably quite enjoy this
I don't
film.
even know.
Anyway,
Let's move on.
moving on to spoilers. Right, so I'm going to say one thing. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to say that we've got 10 things. I've gone to the CPR site and they've got an Ant-Man and the Wasp, 10 things that we loved and 10 we didn't. So I say that for spoilers, we go down through this list and talk about it in a little bit of depth.
Okay.
All right. So they say that one of the things that they loved was they loved Luis recaps Scott and Hope's relationship.
Can I just say?
So that was in the bit where you've got he takes the truth serum, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
truth serum.
Yeah.
And he's like, you got the music in place.
Yeah,
But
then Hope, she was thinking about this, and I was like, well, do I want to be with Scott? I don't know if I want to be with Scott. Does he really like me? I thought,
screw you, man, I'm out.
I think this was absolute genius.
Michael
And-
Pena he has got fantastic comedic timing, and he's got this character of Luis down to a T. Now, I don't know how much of that was him, how much of that is from the script, and don't forget Edgar Wright was involved in this originally in Ant-Man. So there's possibly many mothers and fathers to this character, but I don't think anyone can deliver those lines the way that Michael Pena does it.
No, exactly.
Fantastic.
And I think the fact that the other actors have to word it as well and make it look like, like they're saying it. I think it's fantastic.
I reckon they had a lot of fun filming those scenes. An awful
but
lot
I
of
will
fun.
just say that I thought that was really good, and I don't think this is in this top 10.
Top 10 things
what
liked and not
I didn't
liked.
like
Right.
is when Scott was taken over by, and this is a spoiler, taken over by Michelle Pfeiffer's character, and he was then.
Oh,
doing
what
a-
with the?
I
with
found
the,
that really
with the-
uncomfortable.
with the quantum entangling or whatever it
Oh,
was.
we
Yeah,
just put quantum in front of everything.
yeah, that's a line from the film. Well done. It's also something they absolutely did. They put quantum in front of every single bit of scientific jargon that
Yep.
they could ever come up with, and that explained everything.
Yeah, well, it's a bit like Quantum Leap.
Oh, but you
no,
you are knocking them out of the park today, my friend. You are on fire. Well done.
Thank you very
That's
much.
very good. So talking about Janet Van Dyne, which is
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer's character. So we knew in Ant-Man she went subatomic
Yeah.
to destroy the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
But that meant that she was going to go into the quantum realm and shrink forever.
Yeah.
So when Scott went into the quantum realm at the end of Ant-Man, there was apparently some quantum entanglement, apparently, or whatever it is they call it. And when he came back with the knowledge that of a little bit of the quantum realm, and it made them think that actually maybe Janet was still alive.
Yeah.
So lo and behold, yes, she's still alive.
There's a connection.
There's a connection somehow due to quantum science.
Yeah.
Like I put quantum in front of
Yes,
science.
mate.
Yes, mate, I'm on it. Now, I actually thought that the portrayal... I think that Michelle Pfeiffer was completely wasted in this film. Like, this could have been... This actress could have been anyone. So they didn't cast anyone as the original Wasp in the original Ant-Man because they wanted to get a named actress.
Right.
And then they get a named actress in Michelle Pfeiffer for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
And they give her literally nothing to do.
Yeah.
She's in a couple of flashback scenes with a bit of CGI de-aging,
Yeah.
which I thought was good, but not as good as the original Ant-Man.
No.
I thought I could see the lines a little bit on it, as Nate would say.
Yeah.
And she literally had nothing to do. She came back, used quantum science again to help to heal Ghost,
Yeah.
who is consistently phasing due to a failed experiment with
Quantum.
with her dad, who is in the comic books is Egghead.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Hang on, Egghead, have I got that right? Probably. Yeah, and then you got the after credit scene basically with her, which we'll go into a bit later on.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not much for her to do, really, is
No,
there?
not really, mate.
It's a waste of an actress. But what I will say is that I've always had a bit of a thing about Michelle Pfeiffer,
Yeah.
and girl, she got it.
Well, she has.
She has got it.
Yes, she
She
does.
is a beautiful, beautiful woman. One thing I did like about her casting as well, if you look at Evangeline Lilly's mouth
Yeah.
and Michelle Pfeiffer's mouth,
Yeah.
they pretty much got the same mouth.
Right. Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Don't be filthy. I'm talking mouth. I'm not saying
Ben, I
anything
haven't
about
said
that.
anything. Ben.
Son of a
Don't bring
bitch.
this down.
Truth serum. What do you think about the truth serum?
Well, we mentioned it already.
We have
I thought
mentioned it.
I thought it was brilliant.
It was brilliant.
It was the laugh out loud moment of this movie that lasted 5 minutes. At
Well,
least.
you say that, but then at the end of the film, when Louise has shot up the truth serum, you've got the, that sort of Indian-looking chap who went, "It's not truth serum." And at the end, he's like, "Shit, maybe it is truth serum."
But I did, but the fact that the bad guys in this injected him with the truth, Louise with this truth serum,
Yeah.
and not knowing that he goes into so much detail about what he talks about, it was comedy gold.
It was
Absolute comedy gold.
It was great. What about Bill Foster? What do we like about him or not like about him?
Well, I liked.
So he's Goliath.
Yes, which I didn't know about.
Right. Okay.
I thought that was great. I can quite easily see him coming into being pulled into the MCU as some sort of origin film, or maybe something else. Would he be in Avengers?
Well, I don't know about Avengers. However, what I will say is that Captain Marvel is set in the 90s.
Oh yes.
Right.
You like?
So there's a potential that Captain Marvel may have had. So Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel may have had dealings with, because she knew Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe she knew about Hank Pym, maybe she knew about Bill Foster.
Yeah.
So maybe she was around when he did his experiment and became the 19-foot Goliath.
Yeah.
Scotland doesn't want to say anything, but he got to 40-odd foot when he tried it, and then he got to 80 foot later on in the film. I like Lawrence Fishburne in this. Again, he doesn't have an awful lot to do. And I called in the film that he was going to be linked to the Ghost, and lo and behold,
Guess what
30 seconds later,
you smashed it again.
Smashed it. Now, I did suspect that he may have been a family member, like a uncle or an elder brother or something like that. So I got that bit wrong.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that to you. I was like, they're linked, definitely.
Yep, you did, smashed
and they
it.
were. So that was good.
Yep.
What do you think about the quantum realm? See, I thought all of that was... They skipped over a lot of the science in that, put quantum in front of everything, and expected you to just go, do you know what? Don't worry about this. This is like sciencey, techy
Well, I think
stuff.
I think that was what was a good thing about the movie, that you didn't think about it. You just thought, oh, they're going to shrink. They're going to go into this realm.
They didn't spend too long explaining it.
Yeah.
They told you sort of what you needed to know. They didn't go back into the shrinking tech at all in this film.
Nope.
They explained that in the first film. They now expect you to be on board with it.
Yeah, and I think that's it. And I think that's what the film gave you. The film just managed to make you just believe and just go, yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that.
What about this weird stuff that you can get in the quantum realm, which is this quantum healing energy?
Well,
which is the stuff that Janet seems to be infused with and give to the ghost.
Well, this is interesting. I don't know much about this. Is this going to be being pulled into the new Avengers film?
I suspect this in some way will be used again in the MCU in a big way.
I think so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So there's also a line in the end credits, the mid-credits scene.
Yep.
There's a line, we won't go too far into that, but there's a line that is used by Michelle Pfeiffer's Janet Van Dyne, and she says, don't fall into any time vortexes, because if you do, you'll be lost forever.
Yeah.
Let's keep that in our heads.
Just do it.
Let's do it. Now, this is something that I had a little bit of a beef with, actually. The trailers for this film pretty much gave away every single piece of shrinking / embiggening, enlarging. That's a better word. I'll edit that bit out.
Go into gargantuanism.
Making bigger.
Yeah.
All of that was spoilt in the trailer. The only thing that I can think of that wasn't is the scene in the school where Scott Lang's suit is malfunctioning and he goes to like slightly smaller than child size.
I'd say Hobbit size.
I'd go with Hobbit size as well. Maybe a bit smaller.
No,
who knows?
Just about it.
So it's a little bit of a shame that a lot of the action beats, a lot of the shrinking stuff, a lot of the enlarging stuff was spoilt from the film.
Do you know what? I didn't really think about
the trailer.
I genuinely didn't think about it. I mean, the trailer made me look forward to seeing it in the movie.
Sure.
In the film. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get to that part of the mid-credit scene then that ties into Infinity War.
Which was good.
So
the leg touching incident.
This is where I was like, oh.
Yeah,
so I saw that Scott was going to go into the quantum realm.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
To pick up the quantum healing science stuff. Juice. Let's call it juice. Quantum healing juice.
Yeah.
That is now ours. We've painted that.
Yeah.
Good.
Copyright's fine.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Fight you, listeners. Whatever. So when he went in, I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then lo and behold, he can't get out because the Thanos snap has happened.
Yep.
Hank, Hope, and Janet have all turned into ash and they've gone.
They're gone.
So I love that. I also like in the end credit scene, well, right at the end of the film,
The
that's a
pointless
nothing scene.
Yeah.
Because you've got the ant playing the drums, but also at the same time, you've got on the TV that's on, you've got like a please stand by emergency broadcast message.
Yep.
So he's an ant
Yep.
that was not affected by the snap.
Yeah, but not everyone is.
But are animals affected by the snap? Because I thought they were. So is he just one of the animals that isn't affected by the snap? Or is the film telling us that maybe not animals aren't affected by the snap?
So are you then saying that maybe Scott is able to connect to the ant outside of the zone?
I've got no idea what I'm saying, if I'm completely honest with you, mate.
I think you're probably right, and maybe the quantum ant will be able to hear him.
Or not.
I just put quantum again.
Exactly.
This is gonna.
I like the fact that it did tie into Infinity War with that mid-credit scene. I think some people were expecting it to tie into Infinity War a little bit more.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would, because how could it really,
Yeah.
quite frankly?
Yeah.
So I like that this was happening. It was running alongside Infinity War, basically, towards the end of the film. So, yeah, clever. Well done.
Yeah.
I also like that this film wasn't a world-ending story. It was a contained sort of family story that they needed to save Janet.
Yeah.
And to save Janet, they had to they were also on the run because... Do you know what I missed, actually? I totally didn't even think, going into this film, that Scott's actions in Civil War would lead to
Hank and
Hope being on the run from the FBI because they used their tech, which therefore meant that they violated the Sokovia Accords. Brilliant. I didn't even catch that. No. I think that was a brilliant use of using that narrative from Marvel, using the Sokovia Accords and how they are literally rippling throughout the Marvel universe. Good. I think after the snap, those Accords, gone.
They're going to burn them.
They'll be Thanos snap themselves.
Maybe the Accords have disappeared through the snap.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
What do you think about the portable lab?
It was all right.
Again, spoiled in the trailer because you saw Michael Douglas shrink it down and then cut it off like a suitcase.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite clever, really. It was kind of used as a bit of a MacGuffin. That's what the bad guys are after. They're after the lab.
That's not
That's
a real
the word. It's the word.
Is it?
Yeah, have you not heard that before?
No.
So MacGuffin is what is the thing that we want? So in Mission Impossible 3, the MacGuffin is the rabbit's foot. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, the MacGuffin is the Ark of the Covenant.
Right.
In in Temple of Doom, the MacGuffin is those 3 Shankara stones.
Oh, I love it.
Have you not heard that before?
Oh, I love the word MacGuffin.
Oh, there you go. I think it was coined by Hitchcock, actually. Alfred Hitchcock.
Well,
anyway, doesn't matter.
Sorry, but it's a great word.
The portable lab was the MacGuffin. It was what the bad guys were after.
Hashtag MacGuffin.
There you go. I can't believe you don't know this one.
It's like McLovin.
It's a little bit like McLovin, I guess.
MacGyver?
Guffin. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Sorry.
Yeah, the bad guys are after this. That's what they're all after. They were going to use it for reasons. Like Walton Goggins' character was going to try and sell it for parts and make a load of money. Bill Foster's character was going to use it to help the Ghost. How? I've got no idea, because has he ever seen any of that tech before? Probably not.
It's the ring, isn't it? Everyone wants a piece of the ring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
one
ring
MacGuffin?
It's a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
I've used it in my
You've
own
got
way.
it. Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
There was a little bit of foreshadowing of Scott Lang's daughter Cassie as a hero.
Yes.
So she is a hero in her own right in the Marvel comic book universe. I forget her name, but she has the same sort of tech as her dad, so that's a thing.
Yeah, I like that. I thought it was a nice touch, because he's kind of like, well, I wasn't really thinking about you. I was thinking about Hope, but she's got it.
Yeah,
she's there.
And she sort of encouraged her dad to go out and do the right thing rather than sort of stay sat in his home and sort of do the right thing for him, but maybe not for the good of Hank and Hope. So that was good. I like that.
Yeah.
We've talked a bit about the Sokovia
Soviet
Accords
Accords.
already,
I
so
think,
that's fine.
Yeah, but I actually thought it was a nice touch to have it there.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's just something that's going through all of the
I think it's
MCU.
come up in almost every single Marvel film since Civil War, which is actually pretty bloody good.
Yeah.
Because it means that it wasn't just a one and done thing. This actually has an impact on the world.
Yeah.
This means something.
Yeah.
You know, if you are not licensed to be a superhero, you can't be a superhero, really.
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever. Stanley's cameo in this was absolutely freaking hilarious.
I think it's my favourite one out of all of the
I
films.
think so too. I think it was brilliant because he didn't interact with someone and give some sort of knowledge. He wasn't there with a bunch of girls or pretending to be a bloody watcher talking to the watchers of the universe.
Yeah.
He was an old man whose car shrunk in front of him and he said, well, I had a great time in the 60s, but I'm really paying for it now. And I almost wet myself.
Yeah,
it was brilliant. Okay, this I actually agree with in here. This is one thing that apparently CBR didn't like. The mystery buyers for the stuff that Walton Goggins' character, whose name I always forget, doesn't matter.
No.
Birch, maybe? Might be different.
Well,
Who were they? Who were the mystery
Sonny
buyers?
Birch.
Sonny Birch. Yes, I got it right, mate.
yeah, you're always right.
That's how I freaking
Always
roll,
right.
mate.
Good.
Yeah. Now, in the original Ant-Man film, I believe a Hydra agent got away with a vial of pin particles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably likely to be the remnants of some sort of Hydra cell of terrorists who are after this tech to use it in some way to make whatever they've got better or what have you.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been nice if it was mentioned who they were. Was it Hydra? Was it someone else?
But maybe we'll find out in another film.
Maybe we will. Maybe we will. We've already said that we like Evangeline Lilly's portrayal of the Wasp. She was badass. She was the action star of this film.
Yeah.
The Ant-Man was in it,
Yeah.
but really he muddled his way through a lot of his action scenes and was sort of lucky, whereas she was trained and 2 years of being the Wasp under her belt.
Yeah, she got guns.
She has got guns and she can fly.
Yeah.
And stingers or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's absolutely great. I'm not going to talk about that because who cares? The
No one
fight
knows.
scenes and the chase scenes in the movie were, again, slightly spoilt in the trailers, but at the same
Funny,
time,
brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely
really
fantastic.
well done.
Yeah, I loved all the. I loved the. What's the sweet Pex? No, Pez.
Pez.
Brilliant.
I want to see, actually, what Peyton Reed has directed before he did Ant-Man, because he was the director of this film. And I thought he did bloody great work on this film.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to have a little look on IMDb because that is apparently a thing that we can do. Let's see. What has he directed in the past? He has done, obviously, Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man. He did episodes of New Girl. He did The Yes Man, The Breakup, Down With Love, Bring It On. So he doesn't exactly have what you would call an action director's background, but I think he did bloody well in this.
Yeah.
I think he did really, really well. Good on him. Good on him. We've talked about the fact that it was a local sort of threat and a family thing rather than earth-shattering danger.
Yeah.
I think that was what this film needed, really. After the events of Infinity War, it needed to be local.
It just needed to be a bit sort of, I want to take a breath.
Yeah.
Because it was all quite serious.
Yeah.
And this, it was serious in that you want to, serious for family rather than serious world endangering.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Obviously, it dovetailed with an extinction level event in Infinity War in the mid-credit scene. But the driving plot of the movie was pretty simple. It was rescue a family member, and it was sort of escape from the bad guys who are trying to get the MacGuffin. Basically, that was it. Very simple.
Yep.
Made it great. The actress who played the Ghost
Yes.
was brilliant. She's an English actress, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the.
Is that not her?
That's her character name.
Oh, boo.
I can't remember the actual person's name. I'm sure you'll find it for me in a moment.
No.
Or maybe I will. I think it's probably someone called Hannah John Kamen. She, I just pulled that straight off the top of my head. I didn't read that off the internet at all.
Wow.
She was in something that Nate and I watched recently.
What was that?
She was in. Oh, and you and I watched that. She was in Ready Player One. She was one of the, the big bad guy in Ready Player One. She was like the head security person for the big bad guy.
Was she?
Yeah, man. Yeah, she was. Apparently, she was in Game of Thrones as well. Didn't know that. Anyway, I thought she was great because she was billed as the bad guy, and the Ghost is a bad guy character in the comic books. But I think in the comic books, it's a he, and he's just an industrial and espionage sort of type guy.
Right.
In this, she was accidentally a bad guy,
yes.
and all she wants to do is cure herself. And I thought that was good. I like the fact that Bill Foster's obviously designed this suit for her to sort of help her with her phasing, make it a little bit less painful. Seems to be wearing off.
Yep.
She doesn't have a lot of time left. Don't get me wrong, there wasn't a lot of backstory for her. She wasn't a fully fleshed out villain like you would say a Thanos is, or the Black Panther villain Killmonger was. But she was a threat to the heroes in this film.
Well, we did have a bit of backstory where she was, father doing her work, then she
You had a
got
1
found
minute
out,
flashback,
and then
yeah.
he took her into S.H.I.E.L.D., and then S.H.I.E.L.D. realised that she could be used as a weapon, trained her up, and then she was used for bad things. So I think there was.
But what I'm saying is you got that snippet of backstory, which is great, but then you didn't. Nothing really in that backstory hit me in the heart so much that I actually felt sorry for her. Whereas with
Fact she lost her parents and then she's basically
but
can't hold things.
it was I don't really care the way it was
you have
portrayed. I didn't really care.
Am I talking with Nate?
I know, right? But what I'm saying is, I think if you look at Killmonger's backstory,
Yeah.
he lost his dad.
Yeah.
His uncle abandoned him. He turned himself into a weapon. What I feel is that Killmonger's backstory is a little bit more rounded than this one was. This one is almost like a copy and paste of that, but not done in such an impressive way. That's just what I feel. Just my opinion, James.
Well, you can have your opinion.
And I'm just one man.
And I completely disagree.
I'm also an idiot.
So, well, we can,
Okay, not talking about that. Right, what about now? I loved the name ex-con, and I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't see it at first for what it actually is. So an ex-con is what they would call an ex-convict.
Yes.
I didn't see that was as the security name. I saw ex-con, and that's who that was the business they had. But it took me to see it on the sign in the street as it was sort of scanning. The camera was scanning up into their office, and I was like, "Oh,
there you
ex-con.
go. Slapped you in the face, then, didn't it?
I'm such
like
an
a
idiot.
fish.
I'm such an idiot. It's unbelievable.
Sometimes.
I like the fact they got the two guys back who were like Luis's like friends from the first film, like the supporting characters. Can't remember their names. Doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
It was. Like I said, I think they were like the three amigos. They're all like the Three Stooges in the film. So that slapstick type of humour, and then it all comes good at the end of the day for them. Absolutely fantastic.
Damn right it does. You're damn right it does. That's pretty much it. We've talked about the final end credit scene with the Ant already. What I'm going to say to you is that this film had a budget of, I think, a maximum of 195 million.
Right.
It has made, bearing in mind, it came out pretty much everywhere else in the world over a month ago. It only came out in the UK
That's
here
true,
last
wasn't
week.
it? Yeah.
It has made almost $500 million.
What? Say that again, sorry.
It has got a budget of upwards of 195 million
Right.
dollars.
Yep.
And it has made almost 500 million.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
That is, as far as I'm concerned, a bloody good return on investment for what you would probably call a middle of the road Marvel film. Not world ending, not the worst, kind of in the middle.
Marvel B movie?
Possibly. You could go as far as to say that. Is Ant-Man he's not a Captain America or an Iron Man or a Thor, is he?
He didn't draw you in like that.
He's not a main tier, top level Avenger.
No.
He's not Spider-Man.
No, he's not.
So, really, I think this, whilst it hasn't set the world on fire,
It's still brilliant.
it's making a bit of money. Fair play to it, I say. Well done. So I think that pretty much concludes our spoiler section of our review of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep.
You've given it 4 out of 5.
Yep.
I've given it a solid
7.
7 wasp stings out of 10 anthills, apparently. Would you recommend that people go and see this film?
Yes.
Would you recommend that they watch Ant-Man before they see this film?
Yes.
I would too.
Yes.
I would say if you haven't seen Ant-Man and you're going to watch this film, you'll probably question more
Yeah.
than you would if you've seen Ant-Man and go and watch this film.
Yeah. Well, I think Ant-Man and the Wasp, the opening credits give you a little bit of a background in terms of what happens to Hope's mum. But I think
Yes.
other than that, and maybe you need to see the Winter Soldier as well. Maybe you don't.
Well, I think, well, okay. I think you definitely need to see Ant-Man. Winter Soldier, not so much. I think you mean Civil War, right? You mean
That's
Civil War.
exactly what I meant. You know me.
that's right.
I say things and then you correct me.
I think if you hadn't seen Civil War, you might go, what the flaming hell are the Sokovia Accords? What's all this about? Why is it on the run? What they didn't used to be on the run. What's going on here?
Yeah.
So I think they do a little bit of retroactive storytelling to sort of fill those gaps in for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Yep.
But I think you get more out of any of these MCU films if you've seen them all, as you always will do anyway.
Yep.
It's got a 7.5 rating on IMDb, which I think is pretty bloody good.
That's quite good.
And Ant-Man, the original Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, has a 7.3 rating. So people are liking it more than the first film.
Consistent though.
Well, yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
0.2 of a whatever.
And
Yeah, good. I think we've done it, James.
Have we?
I think we've recorded our first podcast with Nate away, and it's only come in at 1 hour 19 minutes.
that's not too bad, is it?
Not bad, really.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
We can polish it. We can polish a few things up.
Yeah, I will, definitely.
Right.
Are you going to do the ending, or do you want me to do it?
I think you'll do it.
Okay, fine. So at this point, I will say that if you like this podcast, please feel free to give us a review on whatever podcast app or service you listen to us on, iTunes or Spotify or whatever. You can follow us on social media on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Just search for Nerds Chatting, all one word. That's NERDSCHATTING.
Nice.
Thank you. We're also on, you can send us an email, nerdschatting@outlook.com. Those emails go to Nate. He's on holiday right now. We probably won't reply for a little while.
Oh, no.
I know. That's
single
right.
point
Nate
of
set
failure.
that up. I know. You talk to your other business partner about that, mate. He set that up. That's his problem. What else do you want to do? We've got a blog, which is nerdschatting.com. That might be changing a little bit soon to nerdschattingnetwork.com, but I'll get to it whenever I can.
Do it.
We're going to come back next week and probably talk about Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh.
Maybe. Or we'll do something else.
No, I think we'll do Mission Import. Mission.
Mission Import.
Yeah,
That's
Mission-
what we'll do.
I mean, I got a speech
We'll do the
accompaniment.
new Tom Cruise film, Mission
Mission
Import.
Import.
It's the one where he's on a boat
And he's
and
just pulled
can't
into
be bothered to pull it into port.
No, he can't.
But maybe he will.
Maybe.
Anyway, I've been Ben. You've been James. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Welcome to Nerds Chatting.
TV, video, something or other. Thanks for tuning in. I think this comic.
TV video, something or other.
Yeah.
I think we got to change it. That's got to be the new intro. That is brilliant.